Okay, ya está recording. Okay, now yesterday I asked you to create a graphic chart using the information from Max decision-making grid. That's what I asked for, guys. Okay, that's what I asked for. But this chart is gonna be, is supposed to be really very particular. Why? Because here it is. No, this one. Okay, this one. Because in the moment when you are going to create the graphic, you have to take something into consideration. Okay, something into consideration. Okay, I said this is the chart I asked for. Okay, I said this one is gonna be your X, and then using this as your X, you are going to combine this column with this column, and then you are going to get one curve or one line. That is the marginal benefit line using this column, this information with this column and this column. Okay, that it would say that if I use 1 hour, if I only use 1 hour of study, I'm going to get a grade of D. Okay, if I use, now the other point, if I use 2 hours, it's going to increase, my marginal benefit is going to increase 1. And you're supposed to get a C. And so on until if you decide that you are going to study the 6 hours instead of spending time with your friends. Hopefully you would get a grade of A, hopefully. So this is not something that is going to happen for sure, but at least when you you use this kind of tool of instrument in economics, when you have to take a decision or evaluate your options. Okay, now using this column and this column, you are going to get the marginal cost, the same as I use it over here. You see here, the marginal cost is always like this. It's always like this, it's increasing. For instance, I said, if I spend 1 hour, over here is supposed to be a D. If I spend 2 hours, over here you were supposed to put the what? What's the next letter? Is C. If you spend 3 hours studying, you would get a B. Over here, minus A, and A or minus A, I think so. Or and if you use the 6 hour, then you're gonna get A plus, I think so. Let me see. 6 hours, you're gonna get an A. Correct. Correct. So you have to use it over here. You have to use, because in this, the thing is over here in this, the example number 2, you have amounts, you have numbers, and as you see, if you see the marginal benefit over here, when you use 1, you have to pay 25, and so on. You are going down over here, and the marginal cost is the other one. When you use 1, then you're going to lose. Over here is decreasing, and over here is going greater. Okay, this is decreasing, and this is over here is raising. So, but over here is difficult. Why? Because we use letters. So we have to be very, very tricky in the moment of creating this chart. Okay, so now this is the marginal cost is mixing this column with this column, and the other marginal this is a marginal benefit, and the marginal cost is going to be when you mix this one, this column, the hours of studying, mixing it with the opportunity cost, okay? So it's not gonna be like you think it was supposed to be. So your graphic was supposed to be something like this. Let me show you something like this. Let me make it bigger. Okay. Okay. Now over here are the hours, extra hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, and some of you did it like this, but you were missing something. Okay. Now because of now in this line over here in this, they call it axis. In this axis, you have to mix both in order to get the lines or the curve that represent the marginal cost and the marginal benefits. Okay, the marginal cost always go like this, and the marginal benefit goes always like this. Okay. Now let me see. The marginal cost and marginal benefit. Over here. You see. So it means that it's not that you are going to, it's like this, A minus A, you are going down over here, you are decreasing over here from the maximum until letter D. So that's the only way that you could represent it here in the graph, okay? For 1 hour, it means that you are going to get, what? You are going to get a grade of D. But at the same time, you are going to get, remember there are 6 hours. It means that you are going to invest only 1 hour, and the other 5, you are going to use it over here. Okay, the other 5, so it means that 1 extra hour plus the 5, it has the total of 6. So this is the marginal cost over here. Now number 2 over here, if I spend 2 hours, you are going to get from D to C. You're gonna get C. So you're going to invest 2 hours, and it means that you have 4 extra hours that you can invest it with your friends over here. It means, and is the point is supposed to go over here in this 4 extra hours of over here. No, it's 4 extra hours. No. 2 hours with your friends, 4 hours with your friends, okay? Now the third one, over here when the marginal cost mix or touch or cross, when the 2 of them, they cross it, it means that that's the best, or is your best option. If you go further, then the marginal benefit is gonna be less. Your marginal benefit is gonna be less than your marginal cost. So your decision has to be around this area, guys. So as you see, you had to, the only way to obtain these results, you had to create or put all the numbers like this. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the same that is supposed to be here. Why? Because if I invest 1 hour, it means that over here is supposed to be, I spend 1 hour, and then over here with my friends, I would spend 5 hours. If I do the math, 5 plus 1 is 6. So that's the maximum. Over here, the same thing. 2 hours, I'm going to spend 2 hours studying. That means that if I had 6 hours, 6 minus 2 is 4. That means that you are going to invest over here 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that is the relation that maybe some of you couldn't be able to figure it out. Okay, that's the word, figure it out. Okay, even for me it was difficult. Why? Because I really hate math, but sometimes I have to Now in this occasion, I have to sit down and study in order to explain it to you guys. So this is the way you were supposed to create this chart. So for the one who send me or try at least, I'm going to consider extra points, okay? For the one who tried, who really tried, because I know it was a little bit difficult to create this graphic, okay? Even though for somebody from math, maybe it's difficult. You have to take some time in order to organize your thoughts and try to figure it out how to create this information and at the end create this graphic. So this is the graphic that you were supposed to handle, all right? Okay, now let's move on. With this information this is the last section in opportunity cost. Now we're going to move on and to go to another topic that is over here in economics. That is, let's see, okay, here, analyzing production possibilities. That it has to be also with the previous topic, and I ask you please that you need to, the previous topic, opportunity cost, is a very basic information that you need to handle in order to understand what we are about to study over here. Oh my God, here it is. Okay, now, okay, let's begin. Okay, now, what is the objective of this section? This is section number 3. Okay, it's in your book. Describe what a production possibility curve is and how it's constructed. Number 2, explain what economics learn from using production possibility curves. And the last one is analyze how production possibility curve shows economic growth. Okay, now these are the key terms or the vocabulary that I think you had it already, right? Yes, you have it already. That's the vocabulary number 2 that I asked you to look for. I think so. No, this is the new vocabulary. I think this is the new opportunity cost. What's the other one? Okay, now this is vocabulary number 3. Remember, the topic is analyzing production possibility. So you have to write in your notebook this, analyzing production possibility. Now, the vocabulary is this one, and now the meaning is already in your book. Now you have to read it and understand these definitions. Now over here there is an example of what is production possibility curve. That is the topic that we are dealing with. Okay, it says economic has created economics model. So this is a model. This is a model that represents some information in the economy. Okay, now it says economic model, simplified representation of complex economic activities or systems or problems to clarify the trade-off. All right. Okay, now it says one such model is production possibility curve, and they call it PPC, a graphic used to illustrate the impact of scarcity on an economic by showing the maximum number of goods or services that can be produced using limited production. So this is what it shows. What is the maximum of both? It could be goods or could be services. For instance, over here, and you have the same example in your book. It says loaf in one column. It says loaf of beans, and that means son moldes de pan, bran muffin, que son los panecillos, los muffins. This is represented production possibilities table between bread and muffins. And now this is the curve. Over here you have to write the y, this axis is gonna be the loaf of bread, and over here is represented, you see 0, They give some amounts. They go 2 by 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Okay. Now this one, the X, represents the brand muffins, los muffins. Okay. Now you have they create this graphic. So 10, 20, 30 loaf, 30 muffins, 50 muffins, 60, 100 muffins. This is the top. If they focus only of producing only muffins, if they only focus on produce only bread, they would be able to produce only 12. So they want to mix it. Over here it says production of possibility curve, bread versus muffin. So it means that if they focus on produce only bread, they won't be able to produce muffin. Now, if they reduce it, they reduce from 2 to 10, it means that they're going to lose two loaf of bread. That's the marginal cost. The marginal cost for them to the benefits, marginal benefit for them to produce this brand muffin is gonna be going from 0 to 35. That's the marginal cost from 0 to 35. Now, if they want to create more muffins, but the thing is that if you invest time creating or baking muffins, it means that you won't have time or you won't have enough material. Why? Because of the scarcity. You have a limited material for you to produce something, either muffins or loaves. So it means that if you want to create or if you want to produce more muffins, it means that you need to at least go from 10 to 3. That means that your marginal cost is going to be, you are going to lose 3 loaves of bread, but you are going to gain, you are going from 35 until 63. Okay? If you want to create, if you want to get more muffins and so on. Now you have to represent all this information in this graphic and you're gonna get something like this. Over here it says 7 bread of loaf. 7 bread of loaf is around here. 6, 7 over here in the middle between 8 and 6. And the muffin would be 63, over here 60, 63 something around here, 65 is in the middle, something like here. So if you go and they meet over here, the point meets over there, okay? That is the best options, okay? So that's this kind of models explain it and give you some ideas how you are able to manage or organize your production, okay? Now let's move on, let's move on. Now the next over here it says, resources are fixed. There is no way to increase, let me see it, come here, see it. Unavailable of land, labor, capital, or entrepreneur. Remember, these are the 4 factors of production. All resources are full employed. There is no wasted of any of the factor of production. In other words, the economy is running at full production. Over here in this example, if they get this 10 over here, let's use this one, let it be. If they're getting 10, I mean 7 loaf of bread and 65 muffin, that is the top that they are able to produce. Why? Because they're using all the resources. That's why they said over here, there's no waste of any factor of production. In other words, the economy is running at full production. The only way to increase is that you need to invest in your factory or you need to get more personnel in order to create, and you need to get more resources in order to create more loaves of bread or muffins. Only 2 things can be produced. This assumption simplifies the situation, suits the graphic format now. In this occasion, because they're only using two production, because this way is gonna be more graphic. So that's why. But in real economics, you have to mix different resources or different options. So now this is only for you to study and try to understand how the economics works. Okay, now on number 4, it says, technology is fixed. There are no technological breakthrough to improve method of production. Okay, like all other economic models, the PPC or possible production curve is based on assumptions. Todas estas son asunciones, no es que se da por hecho, pero at least there are assumptions that simplify the economic interaction. For the PPC, these are the assumptions, okay? Now, let's go back to this. It says the possibility production curve represents the border or front, they call it also frontier between what is possible to produce and what is not possible to produce. This model is sometimes called production possibility frontier. It's the same like PPC. Okay, but they call it both. Now, it's useful tool for business and even governments, but it works just as well with individual and small scale economic decisions. Okay, guys, let's stop right here. Let's stop right here because it's 12:15. Please, everybody, turn on your camera, guys. I need to take another picture. Turn on your camera now. As I said, economics is a very interesting subject, and the book that you have in hand, this was a very friendly book. But the thing that you need to study, you need to take time to study and read it. Okay. Now we'll continue next week about the same topic. Remember, write the vocabulary and try to take some time to review it. And if you didn't understand something, take advantage of technology. Go to YouTube and try to find information in YouTube about this topic, the PPC. Okay, guys? See you tomorrow or see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Wash your hands.